Hey, hey. I know it's a minute, a literal minute, not even probably just some seconds before I usually sign on. And I usually sign on to do a TikTok live at top of the hour. And many of you didn't even know I was going to be tuning in today or turning on or whatever the kids say these days. But I decided to do a pop-up TikTok live today, the day after a holiday for some of us. The day that hopefully not everybody's working, but if you are, my heart goes out to you. So good morning, technically, for the most part, I think. Now, I'm East Coast. You, even the West Coasties, as I like to say, it's still early yet. But I decided before I get my day going, I would check in with y'all and see if you needed any help with your decluttering, life coaching, etc. So good morning. See, Callie 2002, literally nothing. I just signed on. Like 2 minutes ago, okay? Not even 2 minutes ago. I'm just saying the preamble. We the people, in order to form a more perfect union, establish justice, ensure domestic tranquility. I'm singing it in my head totally. Ooh, spreading sunshine. You got a snowy day. That can be fun. At least the first snowy day of a season is always kind of cool. It covers up a lot of the clutter in your yard, perhaps, right? So you know it's there, but you don't see it, so you feel better. You're not trying to put your blow mold Santa Claus out with a bunch of dead oak leaves in the way, which is kind of what's going to happen in our yard. I'm telling you right now. Lynette, good morning. Good stuff, people. We have a bright sunny day today, but man, oh Manischewitz, is it brisk? Is it windy? There we go. Yeah, spreading sunshine. It's our first one. Good way to avoid Black Friday shopping. Yeah, I gotta share. I know you may be buying gifts for other people and it's such a good deal, but please pause during the holiday season. Whenever you ask for something or buy something, to say, am I adding to somebody else's clutter? Or am I adding to my own clutter? Now, sometimes we do want to buy things. I'm not going to judge you on that one. I'm a thing buyer myself. But saying, do I really need this? Or is it just because it's so cheap? Just something to think about. Ooh, Lynette, you're saying the snow is coming for us? Ugh, no, I don't want to hear that. No, thank you. Good news is my husband is home safely from his tour, which is great. And he and I are going and doing some traveling to warmer locations. What is it? What does Ben Vaughn say? In an undisclosed location, something like that. Gail is saying it is 39 here in Charlotte, North Carolina. I am assuming that is cold for you. That seems cold for me. Anything in the 30s, I realized, honestly, that I wrote it down to myself. Anything below 50 is when my body starts to go, this is not my favorite. But enough about me and what temperature my body wants to be at. Many of you know me. My name is Beth. I'm a decluttering life coach. I am a decluttering life coach that is going to be here on TikTok for the next 56 minutes. Oops, 55, because the clock just turned, and I will sign off then. But in the meantime, we've got some time together here. Those of you who know me know that I help you with what you're stuck with clutter-wise, and sometimes the clutter-wise tends to be something otherwise. Every day that you show up at a TikTok live and I show up at a TikTok live, we are all at, and notice the road trippy thing above me, we are all at a slightly different point in our journey. Our journey towards what, you may ask? Why, your destination decluttered, which is the name of my coaching here on TikTok, on YouTube, and on the internet, destinationdecluttered.com. So the funny thing is, let me just say, yesterday I did a pop-up TikTok live on Thanksgiving, and somebody was asking me how to sign up for a consultation for one-on-one coaching, and boy, did I have egg on my face in the fact that I was like, oh, you just go here. And then I realized my schedule button was blacked out on one of my pages on my website because I do all of that stuff myself. And yeah, it's working now though. Just wanted to let you know. And so this coming week, I have my calendar open for people who want to, who are curious about, interested in having me as your one-on-one coach. So I'm just offering to you that is open. The next few weeks of December are going to be kind of goofy because I'm getting some stuff done to my eyes and I'm not sure how that's going to play out with me being online. So I'm just keeping it flexible, okay? Just so you guys know. Nothing wrong, but just planning to be flexible, which I love. Do you love flexibility? I love flexibility. God, that's what you can buy me for Christmas. Buy me some flexibility. I wonder how that would look. So I'm showing up here today for you, not to hear myself talk, because I talk to myself all the time, in here. Are you stuck clutter-wise? Are you planning on doing any kind of decluttering today, Friday, November 28th? I had to peek. Or Saturday or Sunday, these last few days of November, leading into December, which tends to be the, as I like to just call it, the December holiday season, because not everybody celebrates Christmas like I grew up celebrating Christmas. Do you have clutter in the way of making it easier for you to get prepped for Christmas or the holidays? Here's a fun thing. When you were doing whatever you did for yesterday, let's look in the rearview mirror, as she uses yet another road trip metaphor. When you look in the rearview mirror yesterday, did you use all the stuff that you told yourself before? Oh, I'll use that at Thanksgiving. The china, the cutlery, the crystal. They don't have to all begin with C. The cloth napkins. Now I'm going to do that, right? Did you use the things? Yeah. Yeah. Okay, so Denise is saying, yes, I'm stuck. It's hard getting rid of sentimental things. I will say this. Denise, you are not wrong. Denise, you are a wise woman in the fact that, yes, sentimental clutter, sentimental things are the things that you have that are going to be the most energy consuming, time consuming to make a decision that you feel good at. Now, I don't know why my hands are here as if I'm going to be eating a sandwich. Nom, nom, nom. But what I'm thinking of is when I talk about clutter, just to give you some context though, Denise, yes, you are right. The deepest level of clutter that hits you in the heart is your sentimental clutter. The good news is there are two levels of clutter above that are easier to deal with. And when you practice with the lighter stuff, the easier stuff, it's like going to the gym and starting with the 2-pound weights and then going to the 5-pound weights and then going to the 10-pound weights. You build up your muscle and your confidence in yourself to do something that when you don't know what to do, your fear of it's hard. Okay? So Denise, yeah, I'm not going to deny. I'm not going to pretend that it's not if you're a sentimental person, of which I am. But I will say to you, that's okay. You can do hard things, and you can also do it at your pace. You can do it at a way that feels good to you, so it doesn't feel as hard that you're afraid it is going to be. Okay? Now, Kay Sarah says, bang stuff and more buying stuff. If you like to do that, go right ahead. I hope it brings you joy and long-lasting joy. What I find is that I have in the past bought something and the joy has been very short-lived. Yeah, I would say start slowly, but also please, I mean, this is one of the reasons, Denise, I will say, I recommend starting with the surface clutter, because when you clean a surface of its clutter, you're going to find out a couple of things. You're going to find a couple of things. One is you may find that the reason the stuff is on the surface is because you just haven't put it where it belongs. You know what I mean? Like we just had some clean laundry on top of the dryer, and then my husband put his laundry away in the bureau, right? So it's there, but it does have a home and it fits in the home. Other times, you may realize that the reason things are living on a surface is because they don't have a home, or the home that you want to kind of put them in is like filled. It's got like squatters. It's like there's no more room at the inn. Okay? So I highly recommend for two reasons. One is that you're going to start slow and simple and easy with the surface clutter. And having a surface cleared, so you can spread out your stuff is going to help you go through either your stored clutter and your sentimental clutter, because sometimes your sentimental stuff is stored. Okay. Now I'm doing that myself. I have like an L-shaped desk here. It's a pretty small little area here, but from here over is a big long table. I have a few things on here, but I will be this weekend, Denise, I'm going to be decluttering some of my sentimental items, and I am going to make sure that I have a surface area and it's going to be well lit so I can look through the things and make it easier. Okay. So, honestly, Denise, even just so you know, you're not alone this weekend, that somebody else on the planet is going to be going through the stuff that you are thinking is hard. I will share with you. I did it last weekend and it did take some time. It did take some energy, but man, does it feel good even when you're going through it. You know, you see something with somebody's handwriting on it or their picture and you realize that they're not in the physical world anymore, but they're in your heart, right? Erin, good morning. I raised my mug to you and I hope you're not working today. Yeah. And Denise, yeah, I will be I'm going to be working on, so this closet right back here that you see, really all that's in there is sentimental items. Much fewer of them, hundreds fewer than there were even a few weeks ago, because I went through photo albums and paper clutter. And it wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be. And I didn't even think it was going to be that bad. But notice that fear can stop you from starting. It's going to be hard. I'm afraid it's going to be hard. I'm afraid it's going to be difficult. I'm afraid it's going to cause me pain. All of those fears may play into why we resist doing decluttering at any level. Okay? So just think about that, because there are some thoughts in your head. Prove me wrong, as I like to say. There are some thoughts in your head that make you feel a certain way. And depending upon that thought-feeling combo, the head and the heart, that will really determine if you move your hands to do something at all. To say, I want to keep this, I want to let it go, I want to throw it away, I want to sell it. Actually, speaking of selling something, Cap said, sold on eBay this week. Cool records I don't need. Yeah. I find dolls hard to donate because they have faces. Yeah. Yeah. Notice it's called anthropomorphism, I believe. Typically, that is assigning human attributes to inanimate objects. It runs in my family. But yeah, it can have a face, but you can donate that cute little face to somebody, to some place where a little child's face will light up seeing that dolly. You know? A present for girls and for boys. When Christmas time is here, the most wonderful day of the year. Remember, a something for something, a dolly for Sue. The kind that will even say, how do you do? So maybe, you know what, she won't have too many dreams left to dream. You can donate the doll. You can give it somewhere. Yeah. So good for you. Good for you for selling some stuff that you didn't want. And even if they're cool records, I've been there. I have proven my coolness to myself and maybe other people. See how many cool records I have? I must be a cool person. Then I realized I don't need to prove anything to anybody. And then I sold a bunch of my cool records. And actually, that was another way that it was reinforced. It was like, man, you sure you want to let go of this one? I was like, yeah. I want my cool records to find a new cool home, ideally with somebody who is just on the discovery portion of music like I was decades ago. Rochelle, nice to see you. So notice we also purchase and keep things because of the stories we think they tell about ourselves and the stories we tell about ourselves. I'm not wasteful. I keep all of those jars that used to have spaghetti sauce in them. I'm crafty. I'm going to craft something, you know? Yeah. Yes, exactly, Cap, right here. Yes, we assign so much coolness to our stuff. I don't know if it's any other generation but Gen X, it might be, but I'm Gen X, so I'll claim that for us. Yeah, look at my home. Aren't I interesting? Yeah, I mean, seriously. Not like I don't do it myself. This is my permanent background, but it's not just rattan baskets from Pottery Barn that are beige. I'm an interesting person because I have interesting things. Yeah, okay, cool. Millennial Gen Z here think it too. Yeah, because we want to we want to reassure ourselves of our of how we are. And again, it's interesting to note that. And to me, it's okay to live in it for a while. I love, though, I will share, Millennial Gen Z Cap, you're so lucky to be decades younger than me and learning what you're learning when you're learning it. Because, man, I wish I had learned this decades earlier. I am grateful. Do not get me wrong. I am so grateful for learning how to declutter in the way that I do and in the way that I teach. I am so glad I'm learning it now versus my 60s and 70s and 80s and doing it when I'm an old lady and my brains and my energy have plummeted. So I love that I'm learning what I'm learning now, and I share this with every single one of you. I do not care how old you are. You can learn this if you want to. And I make it so easy because I'm all about ease. I'm all about simplicity. I'm all about going at your own pace. Like, all of those things will make it easier for you to declutter. And you will notice that, especially if you've done the opposite, if you've raced through it, if you've hurt yourself, if you've tried to do what other people say. Yeah. Now, I love this. Trainer Karen says, I have travel mugs to remind me of my travels, but she went down from 50 to her favorite 6 mugs. I love that. Now, notice, Cap is saying, mugs are hard to downsize. Interesting. Why do you think they're hard to downsize, Cap? I'm just interested. I would think myself, our mugs, they are functional. I am all about a functional souvenir. I'm all about something that functions well and also could tell you a sentimental story. Oh, we bought that mug. I can mentally look at our mug shelf in the kitchen right now and tell you the story of a number of those. That's the Beatles mug we got down in Venice, Florida. That's the Hatch show print Victor mug that we got in Nashville. We also have a mug with a Coretta Kent thing on it from Bauer Pottery that I got at the LACMA, I think, Los Angeles Museum of Art. And I have some mugs that I made myself on, like, the interwebs. Yeah, but get curious. Anything you think is hard to do, get curious why you have that thought. Okay? Just get curious. Why do I think that? Why? Was it hard the last time? Maybe it was hard the last time because I did it in a way that felt hard. Right, there you go. Okay, each mug tells a story and can rep our interests. Yes, look at me. Look what I'm interested in. I will show you. Right? Also, frequently gifted to me. Okay, notice that. And cheapish souvenirs. Yeah. So notice those are 3 categories. Yeah. Do I want to keep it just because it's a cheap souvenir? Souvenirs don't need to be expensive, but do I need to remember that we went and I bought this, at the Starbucks in the Wilmington, North Carolina airport. I don't even know if there's an airport there. I'm just making stuff up. But yeah, get curious. And if it tells a story, so many designs out there. Yeah, to me, that can be overwhelming. To me, I love having just the right amount of mugs and allowing myself the flexibility to buy one if it hits all the right spots, and then I'll swap one out. But if that doesn't happen, I'm cool with admiring them in the shop and saying, this is a phrase. The phrase that pays people is thank you, but no thank you. Okay, yes. Ooh, that's a good one, and I love a rhyme, my dear. Learning to admire without needing to acquire. Good one, hon. Alrighty, so Sandy O2 Retro. I used to be retro myself. Now I'm just old. I have such a mess. Between homeschooling and crafts, I can't find anything I need. Well, here's a fun thing about decluttering. The way I define decluttering is living in a decluttered home or area or life. 3 things. First of all, it looks good. because you want things to look good. But the second thing that I think is so important that I think would play to you, Sandy, is that when you declutter, you make it easy to find what you're looking for. It's a three-prong thing. Easy to find what you're looking for, easy to use it. Now, what do I mean by that? I mean that you have maybe only pens that write well. You don't have crappy pens or markers. You have only the good stuff. So you found the pen works well, and then when you're done with it, it's easy to put it away. Okay? So decluttering can help you with that. Okay? Decluttering will also helps you realize what you actually use and what you used and don't use anymore, or you have and you have yet to use. There's stuff that you're using currently right now. You are using stuff in your home to live the current life you live. But I bet each one of you has clutter or stuff in general. It may not be clutter. Stuff that you used in the past and you don't use it anymore. Or on the other side of the past, present, in the future, you have things that you have stored that you haven't used, but you intend on using in the future. So notice maybe that some of the items in your home can represent something I used to do or something that I want to do. Yeah. Now, Cap says, how are we managing Christmas wish lists while realizing we have so much stuff already? So let me ask you a clarifying question, Cap. Is this a list that you made for other people to buy you things, or is this a list that somebody gave you to buy them stuff? I'm just a little bit unclear. Okay? Because I think this is a great topic. Again, my name is Beth. I'm a decluttering life coach, and I'm going to be here for the next 40 minutes or so chatting about clutter and stuff and how it makes you feel and how your house looks and how I can help you and all that. And yeah, people asking me what I want. Ooh, this is so good, Cap. So good. You are getting like a little gold star on your forehead today. Before you got to get clear on what you want. Now, this is why I call myself a decluttering life coach. I have right here, I will show you for the past how many years? I can do it right here. 2024. I didn't write it down for 2025, 2024, and 2023. I have had posted this question, what do I want? Hanging up here. Okay? So before you can tell somebody what you want, you need to decide what you want. And here's a great thing, Cap. When you get clear on what you want and what you don't want, you can inform people of that. And we are in the habit of asking for physical objects on a wish list. You don't have to do that this season, though. What would you like that will not add to your clutter? You know? Yeah, my grandma loves a Kohl's deal, not a fan of too many clothes. Yeah. So you can say to her, hey, Grammy, here's the thing I like to do. I think this helps with the clutter in general. Substituting the physical things for experiences or consumables. Like a box of chocolates that you will eat, or a gift card to a restaurant, or a candle that can be burned. Or, hey, Grammy, why don't we go out to lunch together and we can spend some quality time together so you don't have to go to Kohl's and try to pick something out for me. Or maybe we go shopping together and, we have lunch and then you say I can pick out like one thing at Kohl's. Yeah. Reflection before consuming. Yes, it is. And I say this, write it down. Write it down. Yeah. And yeah, Marla, I'm glad you say, I love what you said. I can find it, use it easily, and put it back easily to find it again. And just to recap, I will say this. When things look good and things function well, you will feel good. You will feel good in your home. You will feel good when it looks good, but if it's not functioning well, there's going to be something off and you're going to have little moments of frustration. You go to use the scissors and they don't cut well, the pen ran out of ink, that type of thing. But when it looks good and it functions well, man, does that feel good. And that feel-good feeling is one of the things that that I help you, aim for, because that's what I'm thinking. Now, I love this. Erin is saying, intending to use things leads to my stored clutter. Need to pare down the pantry and the linen closet. And I say this, I am all for becoming the person, experimenting, trying on the costume, as it were, of the person you think you want to be. So, for example, if you have things in your pantry that you're intending or you were intending on using and you just haven't done it yet, could you make a plan to use that stuff in a certain timeline? I have a package of saffron risotto, love it, in our cupboard. I will make a plan to cook that. So think about the things that represent the things you've intended to use and you just haven't used yet, and don't beat yourself up right away. You could still do it now if you want to. And if you don't want to, you know what? You have the right to change your mind. Yeah. No, Connie Jane Rose, I will not trademark that myself. Somebody else said it, and I don't know who said it before them, but I love a good rhyme. Yes. Learning to admire without needing to acquire. Yeah, I'm glad you learned something, hon. Alrighty. So, yep. Yeah, and here, Marla is working on it. And she's saying, I've pared down. It's almost like, paring an apple. But I have still a few more layers of stuff to get to a really more streamlined life. Notice, yes, you do it in layers. That's why we talk about the surface, and then the stored, and then the sentimental. They are all gradual layers. And the layers go from feeling like you have too much, not going to where you don't have a lot. We don't want to ever get into lack or fear or that type of thing, which is getting down to just right. Okay, so here, Erin, I love this, and thank you for being specific. And also notice, when you're sharing your specificity, you're twinning with Damn It Donna. So Erin is saying almond paste, purchased last year for Christmas cookies, ran out of energy, intention, ADHD. Don't want to make them this year either. So I ask you, if it is not opened and not expired, could you donate it someplace? Could you create a donation bag this weekend? Because I bet you anything, with the big surge of donations, and there's probably a lot of foodstuffs that went out of food pantries for this big eating holiday we just had. So there could be people out there who don't have enough money to buy their own almond paste, but are so looking forward to making almond cookies this year. So think about, you could donate it, okay? Do not beat yourself up. You changed your mind. You thought you wanted to do it and you didn't. Cut yourself some slack, people. Why beat yourself up? You changed your mind. No big whoop. It's not hurting anybody except yourself. If you beat yourself up, all you are doing is hurting yourself, you silly goose. So if it is unexpired and unopened, please, everybody here, consider donating it somewhere where it can be matched up with somebody who wants it. If it's opened, you're going to have to get comfortable with throwing away things. Getting comfortable with throwing away things is a good way to expand your nervous system capacity. Why am I not comfortable with throwing away things? What are the negative things I've been told about people who throw things away? And yet I'm not using it either. So, yeah. So a lot of this is just having a conversation with yourself, but be nice to yourself. Don't beat yourself up. Don't yell at yourself. Don't chastise yourself. Don't make yourself feel bad because you thought you wanted to make almond cookies and now you don't feel like it. Man, have I lightened up the physical and mental load of my life by feeling okay with being not the person at one point I thought I was going to be. And man, it is really interesting. I will share this with you. As I go through my sentimental clutter, I have found letters that I have written to myself in years past about what I thought I wanted to happen. Some of them happened, much of it did not. And yet, I love where I am now so much more than if what I had thought was going to happen happened. I am psyched in hindsight that certain things did not happen. So maybe it's a good thing that you didn't make cookies last year. All right. Ooh, AI is saying we've got some decluttering wisdom in here. Comment insights. I don't know why the hell that is. Insights. But please, do not beat yourself up. You are a person on the planet trying to figure stuff out, doing the best you can with the skill set you have. I show up to offer you some skills from my skill set toolkit to say, this has helped me. This has helped me. Maybe it will help you. If you only have like a Phillips head screwdriver, and I have a Phillips head and a flathead, I can show you to use the flathead one, and then it's magic. Then you have it too. Okay? All right? Eileen B says, you make so much sense. I'm sensible. What can I say? Yes. And Damadonna says, yes, being content with me. And I will tell you, I wrote it down to myself once. It's on one of my Kartra boards somewhere. Trello boards. There's nothing more powerful than a woman that doesn't give a shit about what you think about her. So, exude that energy and you will be unstoppable. Alrighty, so Marla 50s living. The week, Christmas to New Year's. How to best start another declutter. I would say small. I would actually, you know what I would do, Marla? Is I would say, I would take a good look at my calendar and my expectations. I would plan what my expectation wants to be for the holiday season until the first of the year. I would take a good look at, whatever it is, Friday, November 28th to January 1st. What do I want to happen in my life? What is already planned on happening? And I would not start any major declutter. This is one of the specific reasons I will share with you that I am opening up my consultation calendar for new clients next week, but my new clients will not start until after the new year because there is a lot going on. And when you try to do it in the midst of the chaos of the holidays, it can be much. So I would say, Marla, when you get a clear idea of your holiday destination between now and the end of the year, are there some smaller decluttering projects that can help you attain those goals? Clearing off a surface, clearing off the mantelpiece so I can hang the stockings, clearing off a shelf to put the menorah, blowing the leaves off of the front stoop to put the blow mold Santa up. Okay? Yeah, no, Linda Lou is noticing this. I love it. My house was cluttered. I cleaned for Thanksgiving. I went out to my kitchen and I feel serene. That, my dear, the feeling of serenity and feeling good in your home, that's what we're going for. I don't care how anybody else thinks it look. I only care that you feel good in your home. And notice, Linda Lou, you did that. Okay? Now I love it, J. Pete. J. Pete says, this is the first time I'm decluttering while listening to you. Peaceful way to do it. Yep, I get a peaceful, easy feeling. I will share with you, J. Pete. So I'm only going to be on this TikTok live for another, I'm trying to do the math in my head. Oh, it just switched to 25 minutes. But I'm going to check right now because it's kind of fun to look. My TikTok lives, and I do on occasion YouTube lives. What am I thinking of? YouTube. They're recorded. So if you like having this kind of convo in the background as you're decluttering and you're learning something while you're decluttering, make sure that you follow the Destination Decluttered YouTube channel. Because right now, there are 906 recorded TikTok lives and YouTube lives and videos on there that are open to the public so you can listen. So if I'm not here live, that if you get the inspiration to go do some decluttering and listening to me makes it easier, then that's like the toolkit you can go get it from. Okay, that's Destination Decluttered on YouTube. Alrighty. Now, Linda Lou, house was cluttered. You did something. Now it feels good. Now, my friend, please. This is when you can catch yourself before you stop me before I clutter again. Oh, that you can catch yourself and begin to change your cluttering habits so that you maintain that serene feeling in your kitchen. And a lot of this is going to be, doing, I don't want to say more decluttering. It's going to be chunking down your decluttering. Instead of doing it only when it gets bad, if you do a little bit at a time. Now, this may sound boring, and somebody's going to be like, yeah, no, that's boring. I'm not going to do it. It's going to work. I will tell you that I love having that feeling of serenity in my kitchen anytime I walk in it, not just right after I've decluttered it, because it stays decluttered, and so therefore I stay more serene in my house. Now it does change now that my husband's home. There's more dishes in the sink, but doing a few dishes is going to be better than having it all pile up again. Okay, Bonnie Esther, nice to see you. So notice that. Notice that you have habits. This is not to make you feel bad. This is just to remind you that you and the people you live with, if you live with people, and maybe your animals too, maybe your dog doesn't put its toys away. You and the people you live with have habits of cluttering. Okay? Marla 50s, good. Just subscribe to YouTube. Awesome. I'm glad my live popped up again. Yes, there's something in the air. And I will be doing a TikTok live tomorrow and Sunday, but they're going to be at flexible times because I love a flexible schedule. There are some TikTok lives and YouTube lives scheduled though. And let me just quickly do this. Marla probably missed it, but signing up for my kind of email group, you give me your email address, then you get sent a link to a hidden page on my website that shows the schedule of when the TikTok lives are, so you don't have to just be random about it. And you do that at destinationdecluttered.com, which is my website. So she probably missed that, but in any case, anybody else interested, because like, as I said, what day is today? Friday, Saturday, Sunday. I usually don't do them on the weekends, but it's a holiday weekend and I got some time. So I will be doing a pop-up TikTok live, at least for an hour, typically starting at the top of the hour. But then Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, I've got all sorts of stuff. Okay? Yeah. Alrighty. Divian, I don't think it's going to help right here. But good luck with that, my friend. Okay? What else? Oh, we have a couple of declutter parties. I do have to get my butt in gear as far as doing the back things in the background for that. But just to pencil this in, if you're interested, one of the things that I have found has helped my clients, especially but not necessarily only the ones with ADHD, is body doubling. Now, somebody set up Thread how they like to listen to these lives while you're decluttering. That is a form of body doubling. And scheduling a time where other people are decluttering at the same time you are can really help you focus on doing some decluttering that you may be avoiding doing when you leave it up to yourself. Now, that concept of decluttering when somebody else is decluttering, but doing it when you also have support in the house, that would be me, that's a decluttering party. It's an hour and a half on a certain day of the week and time of day. There is a modest ticket price associated with it, okay? The ticket price, this is really cool. And those of you who are part of the email group, you already know this because I sent an email out earlier this week. The ticket price for the declutter parties, I decided as a business person to donate that not to my profits, but to a local food bank. And earlier this year, we were doing that at 50%. I increased it to 100%, and now I've changed it to a food bank. But so far in the year 2025, you Destination Declutterers have donated over $4,000 to good, helpful causes. And you have benefited by doing some decluttering and learning some skills for yourself. It is a win-win. Yeah. Monica is asking, do you have people that will go to your client's home and assist with decluttering? I don't. That's not how I run my business. But what I will offer to you, Monica, is I would highly recommend, if that's something you're interested in, I used to be a member of NAPO, the National Association of Professional Organizers. They primarily work in person. I don't do that because what I have realized, frankly, is even when you're in person, the decluttering happens in your head and in your heart, your nervous system, your feelings, your thoughts and your feelings. I do not need to be in your home to help you with that. The only thing you need that I would do in your home would be moving stuff from place to place. Okay? So I do not do that, but some people do if that's what you're looking for. Okay? I find it much more flexible. Have I said the word flexible today enough? And helpful to be able to coach people from around the country. I have clients in so many states. I look up to where my map used to be. Now it's a big calendar of fun. I like to coach this way, and I find it helpful, as so do my clients. But if you want help in your home, nothing wrong with that. What else was I going to say? There was something I was going to say. Talking about the declutter parties, the one-on-one coaching is going to be starting at the beginning of the year. Also, just that, yeah, I'm wicked flexible with stuff. There we go. Yep. There we go. I love it. I love the foreign language back and forth there, my friend. Thank you, Erin, for saying au revoir, Simone. Very cool. Very cool. So we were talking earlier and noticing that I'm here for about like another 15, 18, 20 minutes. And then after I leave today, frankly, I am going to be driving on the highways past multiple malls and shopping centers and stores, because I'm going to be driving through Delaware, okay? Tax-free Delaware. Oh my God, I can buy things here and not pay taxes. What I will offer to you is check how much clutter you might be that might be coming your way in the holidays if you don't do something now to realign expectations with people. This is typically, you know how they call it, like this is the last quarter of the year is typically where a lot of places make their money. They go from being in the red to in the black. This is also where the clutter in your home is going to increase exponentially if you do not watch it, both with the stuff that you pull in for yourself, the temporary clutter you will have of gifts for other people, but also that people are going to be, you're a good person, so people are going to be buying you gifts. And if you don't say thank you, but no thank you, let's go have lunch instead, you may be getting a lot more clutter that you'll then start to have to dig out at the beginning of the year. Pamela is saying, tips for decluttering Christmas decorations? Yeah, share and let go of the ones you don't like anymore. Notice the ones when you go to hang it up, you're kind of like, meh, I don't really like this. Okay, I don't really like it. So honor that feeling of not really liking it. Only save the ones you love. The ones that tell a good story, the things that, the quantity and the quality. Curate your collection so that it's nothing but quantities of qualities. And feel okay donating or selling, if you want to sell it, the stuff you don't want. But this will require that you get in touch with how you feel about your stuff. So being comfortable, feeling comfortable, letting go of something even if somebody gave it to you, or deciding to keep it. It's all up to you. But I say get in touch with how your stuff makes you feel. And when you kind of calibrate yourself to that level, it's okay. The other thing too is, remember, when you donate something, you are giving that stuff that you're kind of iffy on. I think of this almost like dating, okay? If you're dating somebody and you know it's just kind of meh, you are stopping both of you from having a better life. Because you're saddling yourself, you're not making yourself open to just different things, but also you're keeping that person or that item, if you're decluttering, away from a forever home that could love it and keep it and call it George. So especially this time of year, and especially with all the shit that's going on in this country and financially, there are more people than ever this year who will be scraping by at the holidays and probably going to thrift stores and yard sales to buy things that they can't afford to buy firsthand. And so you can be helping yourself by letting go of the stuff you don't want anyway. And you can be helping somebody else at the same time by putting those Christmas ornaments at a place where they can buy them for pennies on the dollar. It's a yes and situation. And a yes and situation is the kind I like. Yes, I'm helping myself and I'm helping somebody else. Okay? Yeah. Now painting of a duck, yeah, those are the easiest ones for me. Like we have some filler ornaments because what we have done, I'll just offer what we've done with our Christmas stuff and it's worked out pretty well. I do not like decorating the tree. I have no interest in it. Doesn't bring me joy. I consider it an aggravation. My husband, on the other hand, loves it. He puts together our little 50s tinsel tree. He sets up the lights. But what we have done is I do like looking at the sentimental ornaments. So what I did a number of years ago, and I think I was inspired by a friend, is I had got a giant fake plastic wreath, a green one. I don't know, it's like 4 feet across, 3 feet across at least. And I picked out our favorite ornaments that told us stories, and I wired them in there so they look good and we can see them. And I hang that in the kitchen because we have a big hook that it fits in perfectly. So we get to see our sentimental ornaments every day because we spend a lot of time in the kitchen. Now, my husband still likes to do the tree. So on the tree, we just have a bunch of like pink and red kind of, glass balls. None of them really have a story about them. And that's how we have done that. And I will say, I love it. And then, Erin, when we're done with that, when we're done with that wreath, we have a hook down the basement that we hang it on, and then we cover it with, I don't know, like a plastic garbage bag or something for the next year. It is so freaking easy. And yes, it did take some time to decide what ornaments we wanted on there. It did take some time and effort to figure out the best way to kind of wire them in there so they didn't fall off and to decide where they went. But after all that was done, that was easily 10 years ago, I think I started that. And so every year, my Christmas decorations is like, boom, I'm done. I love that. I love that kind of really easy way to do it and feeling good about it. Yay. I love, Erin, that you love all the hooks in your basement. Game changer for decor storage. Yeah. So notice that having a place that makes it easy to store things that you've decided you want to keep can also make it easier. Now, Erin, I love that you're inspired to make that kind of wreath now, but I will say this, and I mean this with love in my heart. And we started actually at the top of the hour talking about this too, so it's not just you. When somebody said, how do I start decluttering? I would, before you start that, notice that dopamine rush of, oh, that's a great idea. I could do that. Let's make it happen. But I will say, take a look at your schedule. Take a look at your calendar between now and the end of the year. Do you have the time? Do you have the energy, the bandwidth to do this? Because it will take some time. This is what I think might be a better idea. And this is the reason I say this, is because, and you can prove me wrong, but I just want to set you up for it can be a good idea. What might be a really good idea too, because like, for example, if you do, if you are introducing this idea to other people, you might want to be like, hey, next year, this is what I want to do. So let's pay attention this year to the ornaments that we think are sentimental. That is part of the process. Is deciding as you go through this, and not necessarily the deciding and the getting of the wreath and the doing of the things. That could be a lot between now and also being able to have time to enjoy it. But what you could do, Erin, and I bet you anything also, frankly, after Christmas, those giganto wreaths are going to be like 50% off at Michael's. You could start this year by when you open up your Christmas ornaments. You could say, is this something I could envision on that wreath or not? What story does it tell? You could even, if you're there with your daughters, be like, remember this ornament? This is the one I got from my grandmother. Like, you could share the stories. Just because you don't do it right away doesn't mean it doesn't have to happen. And it can still be a good idea. So write it down and plan strategically so that your time and energy align with it. That when you put away the ornaments this year, You put away a box that says sentimental ornaments for the wreath. Yes. And more time between Christmas and New Year. And I will say, Erin, honestly, this is how I would do it. If I had the energy to do it after New Year, between Christmas and New Year's, I would do that. But I might be spent. I might be cranky because I've eaten too much and drinking too much. What I might do is this. I would sort my ornaments into the box that I decided that I wanted on the wreath. That would be a step. That would be a chunk. That is a major chunk. I would label that box. I would even put 2025 on it, okay? I would then also be looking to see if they have those wreaths at Michael's and if there's a coupon. I would have both of those things. I would also figure out like green floral wire, or maybe what I did was I was able to get ornament hangers that were green colored. I used to get them at Pier 1 because I worked there. They weren't just the silver ones that look like bent paper clips. I would get all that stuff, and then this is what I would do, is I would plan that project for a time of the year where I had the energy and the bandwidth, that I wasn't trying to rush it, that I might want to decide to do it next October so that it was ready to put together, that it was ready to hang up in, the day after Thanksgiving. Like I could literally, we could do that today actually, my husband and I. It's kind of funny. I just thought of that. I'm like, yeah, we could start that. Yeah. Well, there we go. No one texts me more than Michael, 70% off store-wide right now. So you could still, this is the thing. Notice the things that I'm saying. You can still buy something with the intention of doing it. Just because you don't do it for this Christmas doesn't mean it's necessarily a bad idea. So you might buy the wreath now, and you may not do the crafty project until February, when it's cold and miserable outside. Yeah. The other thing too, Pier 1, my God, I had my formative years. What would that have been? 86, 87 to 90 something. I worked at Pier 1's, multiples. As my friend Patrick and I used to say, because he also worked at Pier 1, we were walking in a wicker wonderland. Yeah. Yes, and I have heard that Michael's has stopped putting price tags on items too. Oh well, what are you going to do? But I will say this too, Erin, and just anybody, please, another thing you can do to declutter your life, if you don't like being texted, turn off the notifications. If you want to get something at Michael's, you can easily go to their website and see if they're having a sale. But do you need to be constantly poked? Hey, we're having a sale. Hey, we're having a sale. Hey, we're having a sale. I freaking hate that. And it adds to my crankiness. And it clutters up and it disrupts my thinking. So I love to unsubscribe from spam texts and spam emails. Yeah. So I just noticed that too. That is a way of decluttering, which is saying no thank you to the automatic texts that you get sometimes when you donate or you enroll. Yes, unsubscribing is the best thing. It gives you such peace. Like right now, honestly, I have so few. Oh, actually, somebody signed up for the mailing list, so I will just do a shameless plug here because there's no shame. DestinationDecluttered.com. If you want to know when next week and beyond, I am scheduled for a TikTok live, so you can look at your schedule and see if you're going to be around, and then plan on tuning in. This is why I call it the TV guide portion of my website, but it's only available to people who give me their email address because I want to keep the trolls away. DestinationDecluttered.com. Scroll down to the bottom, share your email address with me, join the club, or do all set. You are probably on a lot of spam text, email, and snail mail things that are going to be coming in this year because some places do a push this time of year. One of the things that you can help yourself with is to notice what your current habit is and change it by inserting a step of unsubscribing to whatever it is, as opposed to just throwing it right in the trash or the recycle bin or deleting it. Texting stop when they say, unsubscribe. Not just putting your email, because I have some now. All the ones I have, see, this is the cool thing. Looking in my email box, I only have about 9 emails in it, 4 of which are unread, but I see them, and they're all from places that I don't mind hearing from. Anybody who pops me on their list automatically, and I don't want to be on it, I will unsubscribe in a minute, because then I never get it again. I'm not constantly having to throw it in the trash. You can also do that with your paper mail, your marketing that comes in your mailbox attached to your house, by calling up the whatever 800 number that is associated with a place and saying, trust me, I've done this so much, it's on repeat. Hey, I'd like to be removed from your postal marketing lists. Is that something you can help me with? Boom. They will say yes. They will take your info. They will unsubscribe you. It may take a while, but they'll do it. Notice, when you start to say something often, when you repeat something, it rolls off your tongue. Like, the time is 8:45 and Pier 1 will be closing in 15 minutes. Please bring all of your selections to the registers and thank you for shopping at Pier 1. You know, I haven't said that since the 80s or the 90s, people, and yet it's still in there. What you repeat gets deeper in. So if you tell yourself that decluttering is hard, I hate decluttering, it's so awful, I can't stand it, I don't do a good job of it, you're digging yourself in and you're going to get stuck there. So I just say, stop repeating the stuff that you don't want to hear. The more you do that, you start repeating the things you do want to hear. Like, it's not going to be so bad. I'll give it a shot. Why the heck? Hey, this wasn't so bad. Remember that time we did it and it wasn't that bad? We thought it was going to be and it wasn't. Maybe this will be like it. So notice what you repeat. What becomes something that rolls off your tongue. Just because it rolls off your tongue right now doesn't mean it's true. Pause before you speak and say, is what I'm about to say, do I today believe this to be true, or am I just in the habit of saying this? Decluttering sentimental stuff is so hard. I could never do it. I love everything. Do you really love everything? You mean to tell me out of all of those things that you have, there's not one that you're just kind of in like with? A lot of us go through life on autopilot. You know, think about that. Get in control. Instead of letting the car drive you, be in control of where you're going. You can steer your life in the right direction. I mean, I'm a decluttering life coach, but man, the road trip metaphors. When you decide to head to your destination decluttered, you now have a pinpoint between where you are and where you want to be. That immediately, like math, creates a line. And that line is your roadmap. And if you follow that roadmap, make sure that the way you're getting there feels good, that you're enjoying yourself, that you're having fun. And this is the way I teach how to declutter, because I don't want to do anything any other way that isn't fun. I want it to be fun and enjoyable and easy and not painful. And I want to feel good while I'm doing it. And I want to look back when I get to my destination every day. I want to look back at what I did and feel good about what I did. That's what I'm here to help you with. Now, unfortunately, I say all that awesome stuff and I'm about to sign off in like a minute, okay? But for those of you who are just tuning in or are still sticking around, my name is Beth. I'm a decluttering life coach. My coaching here on TikTok, on YouTube, and the internet is destinationdecluttered.com. That's where you can join up and share with me your email address, and I will share with you when I'm going to be there for TikTok or YouTube or doing a declutter party or signing up for coaching. All of that stuff you get just by sharing your email with me. And I never spam you, and I would never sell your email to anybody. So if any of this feels interesting to you, destinationdecluttered.com is where you give me your email address. You get an automatic email with a link to a secret page. And the secret page right now that I'm about to change, because it's no longer Thursday or Friday, today, resist shopping, morning pop-up TikTok. Check, I did it. Saturday, November 29th, morning pop-up TikTok. Sunday too, then Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, all the way through Friday. I'm going to be here for you. if you want to be here for you too. Okay? But in the meantime, I have to go see what the traffic's like. I got to go do my stuff. And you can do this. You can change stuff. You can dance if you want to. You can leave your friends behind. Because your friends don't dance. And if they don't dance, well, they're no friends of mine. All right? I will see you guys sometime tomorrow. All right? Bye.